For this art project, you're going to need a black sheet of paper, colored pencils, and a regular pencil. You can use a white sheet of paper if you'd like, but black helps with that sense of contrast between the white snow and the background. Hi class, it's Mrs. Latinsky. Thanks for joining me again for another art project. Today we're getting ready for winter and we're going to do an art project on the theme of winter, mixing in some winter holidays just in time for those. Also, we're going to be creating a winter snow globe. So please join me. I'm excited to draw with you. Form is when you take something that is 2D on a flat surface and you give it shape to make it 3D, so you can see it in all three dimensions. We're also going to talk about a principle of design called emphasis, and that's the part of the work that you focus on. That's the part of the work that draws your eye right to it. The artist we're studying today's name is M.C. Escher. He was a Dutch artist. He lived from 1898 to 1972. He's famous for his work in surrealism. Now, surrealism, which was very dreamlike, it was very unreal. The things he made seemed wild and imaginative. And he also used a lot of mathematical concepts in his work. This shows how math and art can go together. Here, Escher did a self-portrait. It's a picture of him holding this spherical ball, and it's reflecting back him, his own image. Remember that this is a 2D piece of paper, but it looks like that sphere is in 3D. Do you see how it looks like you can see around the sides? How did he do that? The emphasis in this work of art is this sphere. Your eye is immediately drawn to the sphere. Here's my daughter Grace's example from the art project. She has a little tree on the side and 3 snowmen from our family. She's got me and herself and my daughter Lizzie in the picture. Here's Lizzie's example. Lizzie chose to make a festive holiday, one with a menorah in the background for Hanukkah. It's got just her and Grace in it, represented as snowmen. And here's mine. I did the entire family with my husband and me and Lizzie and Grace, all as snowmen. And I chose to do a wintry tree with snow. And see all those little lines I used to create that 3D sphere effect. To get started, this isn't necessary, but if you want to create a perfect circle, you could trace something like a plate, or you could just freehand it. To draw your base for the snow globe, just draw a triangle where the top of it goes into that circle. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom of the page. For your background, maybe you want to do something festive and holiday like what Lizzie did with a menorah, or maybe you want to do something like I did with a tree in the background. You could decorate it for the holidays, or you could do something like your own family home decorated for the holidays. Well, you have to decide how high you want your snow level to go. The background in my case is going to be a tree, an evergreen tree. I like to do evergreen trees in layers of triangles. So if you can draw triangles, you can draw an evergreen tree. My triangles are a little wide and they keep getting wider. So you start out with that basic triangle shape. You go in, but not all the way. You see that? I didn't go in all the way. I stopped. Kind of arches up a little bit there. And then you grab it at the point where you in and you go out again a little bit further. And same thing, back in. And you mirror it on the other side. This has bilateral symmetry, which is when there are 2 sides that are mirror images of each other. That's the way these trees work. All right, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna keep doing it, and each time you go out, I'm just gonna go out a little wider. And I think that's gonna be my last layer. And so the last layer, I kind of round off the bottom a bit like that. There you go, there's your tree. Create a little trunk at the bottom. And I think I'm gonna put my 2 big snow people on either side here, and my 2 little people here to create a more of a sense of balance in this artwork. To draw your snow people, you start with a large circle on the bottom and a medium circle in the middle and a smaller circle on top. And then you do the same thing for the other ones, and they're just different heights. So you can make your circles smaller for the kid snow people if you want. Don't forget that that tree is in the background and the snow people are in the foreground, so you might have to erase some parts of the tree. After you draw the people, now it's time to give them clothing. I gave the mommy a hat that has ear flaps, and the kids both have little beanie caps with little pom-poms on top, and the dad's got a fancy top hat on. Snow Daddy might wear a tie. You get a tie by kind of creating this triangular upside down shape here, and then a long other shape like this with a point on the bottom. That looks like a tie, doesn't it? Kind of sticking it to the side. I want to make it seem like he's facing the family a little more. For the mom, I gave her a little skirt and a little sweater. And for the kids, I'm going to do the same thing. They're both girls like in my family, so they're both going to get a little skirt. Time to make some snow. Get that white pencil out and outline the areas you already wrote with pencil, and then fill in the snowy bottom with the side of your white pencil. You don't have to do it hard. It's nice to have some shadows in there, but you can also do it hard if you want to. And then go through and start outlining all those snow people. And be careful that you go around their clothing because you don't want to cover the clothing with white. And then fill in all the places that don't have clothing and with snow. The family is the point of emphasis in this particular artwork, the snow family, because they're in the foreground. They're also highlighted because they're inside of this circle. It's like a frame to say, focus on this part. This is the important part. Look in this circle. The circle functions as like a frame for what's important. And families are important. Grab that light green pencil to highlight the outside of that tree so it stands out in contrast against that black background. Evergreen trees have all these lovely branches and needles, and I like to keep the strokes of my pencil going in a same direction. So these are all going vertically, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It sort of shows the way the branches are hanging, roughly. It's not precisely vertical because I'm kind of following the branches. So keep your lines consistent. Follow the branches down. Now that I've got all that lovely light green, I'm going to throw in, same direction, see, some dark green highlights. I may even add some yellow. We'll see. Now, if you celebrate the holiday of Christmas, you might want to make this a Christmas tree. It's up to you. You could create ornaments on it, but that's not required. It's beautiful as it is. It's also beautiful adding a little snow. So snow falls down on the tree. A lot of it will hit on the top. So we got to have some snow hitting that top of that tree right there. But it'll also gather on these endpoints. It just kind of gathers there. It's a tree of snow because the snow falls and hits the top of the branches and sticks there. So wherever you kind of think the top of those would be. Finish decorating your snowman family, coloring their hats, and use those colored pencils to create lots of colorful elements. Don't forget the orange carrot nose and the black buttons. You can write your name or you can write family, whatever you want. What we're going to do is create these lines that follow the shape of the circle, but also come in a little bit like this, and that will create the illusion of a sphere that goes all the way around and has light reflecting off. Make those lines along the outer edges first. These are going to be your longer lines, and they're going to curve with the globe edges. They might go over the snowman, that's okay. And then you're going to do some smaller lines just in a little bit further. They might be a little thicker and shorter. Here's your finished project. Thanks for doing today's art project with me. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. I would love to see your winter snow globe creations, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.